extracted, it was put into a little jar with a cork, and it's now worn on a necklace by Justin Gaethje, okay? Because he took Tony Ferguson's soul, okay? And he ain't been the same since, okay? I tried to tell people Du Bronx will dominate this man. I tried to tell people Beneil Dariush will dominate this man. So you know what I did, Al? I dropped a bomb on Beneil Dariush across a multitude of books. And you know what else I did? I went and said, you know what? Let's get real wild. Let's get real crazy. And let's go ahead and let's pair him up in a parlay with Charles Oliveira. And we all know how that played out. Beneil Dariush beats the brakes off the fraud version of Tony Ferguson. Absolute domination. Al, it's victory lap time. Let me hear about it.
Well, yeah, there was, sometimes I say, as soon as the bell rings, I just, I knew I was going to lose. This was the exact opposite of this. As soon as the bell rang, you knew that, it was just going to go in our favor. I couldn't imagine any way that, like you said, even when he was in that Darce choke, it was more or less Dariush just kind of gaining. I wouldn't say he was just gaining his win back. He was in a bit of a submission there, but he got out of it with ease. And but before that, going back to even just the opening minutes of that first round, I thought, give it to Tony, because he was evading some of those big shots from Dariush by just just a hair. And that seems to be one of the only things that Tony's game he still has. He's still really good at evading. He's still, his defensive boxing is still top notch, because he was just not there so many times. Dariush was coming in with so many just he was just trying to walk him down, and he just wasn't there for a lot of those shots. And it kind of worried me a little bit, because I was like, Ferguson is dangerous in the later rounds of fights. And but it's just, Tony looks so confident until you actually start fighting. And then we saw this in the Gaethje fight. We saw this in the Oliveira fight, obviously. And then we saw tonight, his body language, he just looks defeated. As soon as Dariush gets his hands on him, Dariush had a good chance for a crucifix there. And it was just the thing that bothered me. I had the under is as well in this, which going back,
I'm sure.
Yeah, and the thing was, I felt like Dariush could have had a good ground and pound game going, but he was just laying and praying, kind of like it just looked like he was holding back pretty much. It wasn't the way I thought. I thought that Dariush should be able to get the finish here, but it is what it is, man. My bigger bet was on the just the straight up money line, and you had to really look like I had to just really dive in to get Dariush. I got him at minus 152, and I saw a lot of books like minus 175, and I probably would have done the same thing. I probably would have paired him up in a parlay, but I was like, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to sit this out. I'm going to set my buy price, and got the price that I wanted. We kind of missed out on it about 2 weeks ago when this fight was a lot closer in the odds.
Sure.
And but yeah, Dariush, he's 12-3-1 in his last 16 fights in the UFC, and 6.5 units on the money line in that stretch. So he's been profitable, man. And he needs to fight. He needs to fight someone in the top 5 next, right? Like he needs to fight. Even Chandler. I would like to see him fight Chandler. But let's. What did you think about this? Give me some more. Let's bask in this a little bit more. What did you think? I feel like the fight. I feel like the fight really. It just didn't have that oomph to it that I thought it was going to.
Oh yeah. You're absolutely right about that, man. But you know what? And here's the deal, right? And I'm glad you brought that up, man, because this is a good segue. Because I do want to hammer on this, right? So we heard earlier in the week, Beneil Dariush says he's going to go out there and out crazy Tony Ferguson. Okay. That ain't what happened. Okay. And I got to take my hat off. I got to give big props to Beneil Dariush. Because like I said in my breakdown, Beneil Dariush comes out here and uses offensive wrestling. This guy can make this a grappling match. Oliveira laid out the blueprint that Tony ain't what he claims to be. This snap jitsu, whatever that's supposed to be. Eddie Bravo, 10th Planet. Beneil went out there, got a little wicked with it at first, right? But eventually he takes him down, and he says to himself, I even kind of caught the last part of the post-fight press conference of Beneil. He said, you know what? I went out there, took this guy down, and said, this is nothing. I'm in dominant position. And every time there was a scramble, every time there was a scramble, Beneil Dariush won, okay? To the point where I'm going to tell you right now, Tony Ferguson, this is probably a wrap. Because you guys remember that time when he had to wear sunglasses inside and he tripped over a camera cord and ripped his knee and we didn't get to see him fight Khabib? Well, guess what? Beneil Dariush went ahead and did a little surgery himself tonight, and he totally took apart that whole surgery, okay? Tony Ferguson's knee is done. I saw on the replay, you can absolutely see a ligament, a muscle, something gives way in his leg and fully tears off. And Tony Ferguson's a freak, right? But even Tony Ferguson's grimacing, wincing, looking like he's about ready to tap. I'm going to tell you right now, a regular guy does. You know, you need to be mentally unstable. You need to be a Tony Ferguson to literally look at someone in their eyes while they disconnect the ligaments and muscles of your knee and twist them and rip them. And then you go, oh, another round? I'm out there. You could tell his movement was diminished. He's absolutely defeated. He's not who he was. He's got a torn apart knee at best, okay? I think this should be the end of the road. I mean, this guy is so bad. I saw this was another stat brought up to Dana White at the post-fight press conference. The last 30 minutes in Tony Ferguson fights, he's thrown 30 strikes, okay? We've never seen someone fall off like this. From a year and a half ago to everybody showing up trying to tell me this is the guy to beat Khabib, and I tell him, please excuse yourself from my channel. Not a chance. My man Khabib will murder this man. And that's the truth, and that's what would have happened. We don't need to see it. We know now, okay? If Beneil Dariush and Charles Oliveira offensively wrestle you to death, a shutout, literally you have no moments of success, do you have any idea what Khabib would have done to this man? It would have been a crime committed in the octagon, what Khabib would have done to this dude. And you know what? I got to take this moment right now, and I got to laugh in the face of Tony Ferguson, who at the press conference called my man Khabib. I'm not even going to repeat it because it's just so outlandish. Tony Ferguson, the luckiest thing that ever happened in your life was the fact that you never got in there with Khabib Nurmagomedov. And that's just a fact. That's all there is to it. Al, let me know what you got to say about this fight as we approach this main event.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I think it's just so hard to like Tony, man. He's just such a punk. Like if he talked like that and he had good performances, but it's almost like as if the more that he's focused on the way that he talks is the worse that his fighting has got. You know, like he's such a punk, man. He was so disrespectful to Dariush at that press conference. And I'll say this,
really rubbed me the wrong way, man. Big time.
I don't like to watch those things because it kind of sways my opinion. But like, you know, the bet's already made basically with Dariush for me with that one. But that you know, some things weigh my confidence differently, but that one just made me even more confident in Dariush because I'm just like, why are you pissing him off? Why are you making it personal now against this guy he's just gonna maul you? And that's basically what happened. And you can see it in his face. He just doesn't have the fight left in him. You know, like where's that confidence that he has when he has the microphone in his hand when he's on the ground? You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
It's just I hope I hope this is it, because this clown show, like the biggest thing for me, and that's why I hate this kind of stuff, is because it's like, yeah, you can sell a fight, but like at the end of the day, martial arts is about like honor, and it's about like respect, right? And like at the end of the day, oh, and then another thing, like when Beneil went to like hit him, like went to like say like nice job, man, like in between the first and the second round, he like pushed him, and like it's just like what, it's just so disrespectful. That's the type of shit that ruins the sport. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit that leads to like Connor breaking buses and stuff like that. That's like, you know what I mean? It's just not in the spirit of the sport. Like, it's all good to like, talk some trash and build it up, but just, ugh, he's just such a punk, man. And tonight,
Ooh,
I
nice.
love to we called it from UFC 261, right?
Day
Like,
one.
and my confidence didn't waver at all on this one. This was one, the next fight, we'll get into it, but the next fight, my confidence did waver a little bit
Oh, hey,
as we got closer. So,
no doubt.
but this one, no, this one was all day, every day, Beneil Dariush. And then, like I said, I think he needs to get a big step up. I would say Chandler would be a good fight for him. Or I don't know. Chandler would be a good fight for Gaethje, but Dariush, he's got to fight somebody in like the top 7, no matter what.
Dude, he's got to fight. I mean, Dariush at this point, it needs to be like a contender fight. He needs to fight somebody that, if he beats them, probably worthy of a title shot, in my opinion. He's on just a tremendous win streak, and even though this is a faded corpse of Tony Ferguson, the name alone in the resume, it carries weight, and it does mean something, even if this is, the worst version of Tony Ferguson we've ever seen. Yeah, man, I just got to say, and I'm going to cap it off on this. No one has ever wrote a check with their mouth that their ass could not cash like Tony Ferguson tonight. Real pathetic, real bum stuff. I don't ever need to hear this guy running his mouth like that ever again. And I'd hope his next opponent slaps him like a bitch at the next press conference, because that's just foul. This guy is just on. I mean, it's Tyron Woodley all over again, but with like a mental illness and false confidence. And the guy's still out here saying champ shit only. Khabib's a bitch. I'm done with it.